Today we're reviewing. We have a test in here tomorrow. Now, if you recall, I told you that the test is going to be a take-home test. I'm reviewing today on what is on the test.
Wait, what is tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
I'm not going to be here.
Okay. Now, are we all paying attention? I'm going to show you what's on the test. I'm not going to put this online so that you all know it, but I'm going to pause it so that you guys know I am pausing. Okay, here we go. Number 42 out of section 4-7. Okay, how do I do this problem? I'm going to let u equal the arc tangent of negative 12 fifths. Okay, which means that now I'm calculating the problem of the cosecant of u. Do we understand that? Yes or no? So if u is the arc tan, how do I get rid of the arc tan? What do I have to do? I'm going to times both sides by the tangent. Okay? These cancel out, and I have the tangent of u is equal to negative 12 over 5. Now, that's very, very helpful information. You know why? Because now I know that this is going to be y over x, which is negative y over x, because tangent is opposite over adjacent, or y over x, whichever way you need to view it, which tells me an awful lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is my x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is going to be my lovely little other point, my y value. And I have this right triangle here. Do we see that? Where this is 5 and this is negative 12 because that's my depth down. Which means here is u, because u would be opposite over adjacent, which is what tangent is. Do you see my triangle? Does that make sense? Do you see, because I'm doing the arc tan, it has to be in quadrant 4 because that's where the tangent is negative? Yes?
Where does the CSC come into play there?
Do you always put your cart in front of your horse?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Don't go very far, please. Don't move right back. Okay, now what do I do here? I need to find my other value. So how do I do that? A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Here is a, here is b. So I'm going to have 25 plus 144 is equal to c squared. So 169 is equal to c. So squared is 13 is equal to c. So there's 13. Do we all understand how I came up with that? So now I know c is 13. Now I need to find my cosecant of u because here's u. So now I need to find my cosecant of u. Well, cosecant of u is going to be what? Hypotenuse over opposite. Well, what's my hypotenuse?
13.
13. What's my opposite? Negative 12. And you're done. Do we get that, yes or no? Does it make sense? My girlies in the back, does it make sense? Good. You know what? Gentlemen in the back, do we understand?
I have a solving problem for that? Yes. So,
Try it.
Nope.
Which is
Okay.
Wait, Doug wants to figure it out.
Let U equal the arc sine of 3/5, which means that I'm actually doing the secant at U. So that means the sine of U is equal to 3/5. So if I draw my triangle, here's U. Sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. Right? So the opposite side is 3, the hypotenuse is 5. Now, how do I find my other side? It's going to be 4, just because it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle, which means now I need to find the secant of U. So here's U. Secant is going to be hypotenuse over adjacent. The hypotenuse is 5. The adjacent is 4. How many people got 5/4? Do we understand how to do 3 problems on the test tomorrow without any issues?
Yeah.
I asked, do we know how to do these 3 problems on the test tomorrow? I'm going to go over everything I need to on the test. Okay? Now, the next thing is how do you make this into an arc cosine or an arc sine or an arc tangent? I need this to be theta. There are 2 problems like this on the test tomorrow. So how do I go about doing this?
But is this like how they're trying to write an equation for it or something like that?
I think it's section 4-7.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Really? In 27 through 30, it says use an inverse trigonometric function to write theta as a function of x. So I'm solving for theta. So first of all, where's theta? Down the bottom left-hand corner. According to theta, what is x? What is it? The hypotenuse. According to theta, what is 4? What trig function deals with adjacent and hypotenuse? So what you're telling me is the cosine of theta is equal to 4 over x. But I need to solve for theta. So how do I get rid of cosine? Take the arc cosine. So you're going to take the arc cosine of both sides. So that's gone, and theta is equal to cosine inverse of 4 over x. You're done. That's it. I'm not asking you to solve it because you can't, because you don't know what x is. I'm asking you to write it as an arc function, as an inverse function. Do we understand that? Now, is that the only solution to that problem? No, because I asked what trig function deals with opposite and adjacent, or hypotenuse and adjacent, okay? Cosine does, but that's not the only one. What's another one? Secant, so it'd be the reciprocal. What you could have here is theta is equal to the secant inverse of x over 4. Meaning hypotenuse over adjacent. Do we understand that, yes or no? 2 problems like that on the test. Any other questions over that section? Over that right there. Okay. The next thing you need to be able to do, you need to be able to do problems 13 through 24 on page 317. That's just plug and chug. I think the rest of that section you guys should be good on. Okay, 4-8. 4-8 was last night's Michelle's complaint. Yes? Now, on section 4-8, if I had to do number 1, for example, you have 3 problems that look like this tomorrow. Okay? Number 1, angle A is 20. Angle C is always 90. And B was what? 10. So now, I give you this information. Put it into your triangle. Okay? Here's 90. Here's going to be angle A, which is going to be 20. And I need to find A. B is 10. C, we don't know. So how do I find all this other information? How do I find angle B? 90 minus 20 is equal to 70. So now I found all my angles. Now I want to use what was given. What was given is this information and this information. And I want to continue to use that information so that I can get the rest of the sides. So what trig function, if I'm looking for A, and I'm given 20 and I'm given 10, I'm using those three boxes. What trig function would you use with the angle A?
Tangent.
Why tangent? Because this is opposite and this is adjacent, which means the tangent of 20 is equal to A over 10. Now, how do I find little a?
Multiply by 10.
So 10 times the tangent of 20 is equal to A. If you plug that in your calculator in degree mode, can someone punch that in?
Or if you put the degree thing after 20.
Okay.
I think it's 3.63.
I think it's 3.64, but I'm not certain. 3.64? There's A. Do we understand that? You can use A squared plus B squared equals C squared, but I'm not a fan of doing that. So I'm going to use A equals 20, side C, or side B, which is 10, and now I need to find side C. So what trig function deals with adjacent and hypotenuse? Or I can use the cosine of 20 is equal to 10 over C. So that means C times the cosine of 20 is equal to 10. So C is equal to 10 divided by the cosine of 20. And what is 10 divided by the cosine of 20? What was it? 10.65. Michelle, do you feel more comfortable with that section now? Can I do number 7? B is 16 and 48 is C. Okay, now how do I find my last side? So A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So now I'm going to simply plug and chug. So this is going to be A squared is equal to 48 squared minus 16 squared. So A is equal to the square root of that. And what does A equal? Does anybody do that calculation for me? No one's going to do that calculation for me? Oh, okay.
Number 7, right? A equals 45.25.
I like how you're just doing it there.
Oh, I don't have my calculator.
45.25.
Yeah, I think it is 45.25, but I'm going to make sure everybody sees that and understands it. Yeah, I know, that back of the book's wonderful. Well, apparently mine's right. 45 point what? 25. That's what we're going to go with. So there's A. Now again, we want to use what we are given. Do we understand that?
Yes.
So I want to use this and I want to use this. So which angle do you want to find, A or B? Want to find A first? So according to angle A, what is 16? And what is 48? Now what trig function deals with adjacent and hypotenuse? So the cosine of A is equal to 16 over 48. So how do I find A? Cosine inverse of 16 over 48. And what is A? 70 point what? So now I found angle A. Does that make sense? Now how do I find angle B? 90 minus 70.53 gives me
19.47.
Michelle, does that make sense? Are we good on that? Three.
There's like 3 of ours.
You have 3 of this type of a problem, okay? One of them is degrees, minutes, and seconds. I'm going to tell you that straight up.
I don't remember that.
That's pretty easy.
All you have to do, for those people who do not like the degrees, minutes, and seconds, if I have 70.53, I need to make sure, first of all, that I am in what mode? Degree mode. Okay. All you have to do is go to your book here, go to 2, and make sure that you come down here to angle. When you're in here, and 2, hit angle, and then you're going to go all the way down and convert to degrees, minutes, and seconds. And it's going to give you 70 degrees, 31 minutes, and 48 seconds. If it gives you something in degrees, minutes, and seconds, then all you have to do is hit that button right here, and DMS is right there. You see this key right here? Okay? Do we understand that, yes or no?
We can just put in 70.53 degrees, right? And then it'll automatically get it.
It should. I'm not certain on that. Have you tried it? You want me to test that? 70.53
You're not getting in, you're only
degrees. Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't put it in DMS.
we didn't.
78, 31, 48. Yeah, I got it.
What'd you put?
You gotta go right.
You didn't.
I'm in radians.
Oh, I'm in degree mode though.
Yeah.
Okay.
In degrees.
Yeah.
So it's double degrees.
Double degrees. Okay, do we all understand what's on there? Okay, do you want me to show you how to graph again? We have 7 minutes. Do you want me to show you how to graph again?
Yeah.
That's the question. How do you know what to be in radians?
Whenever you're doing the triangle problems, you need to be in degrees. Okay? When you're doing the arc tangent stuff, have the evaluation be in radians. Okay? Alright, now what was I going to do?
Graph.
Oh, I was going to show you how to graph. Thank you, Stacey. Okay. If I have y is equal to 2 times the secant of 5x plus pi minus 3. Totally just pulled this out of thin air. Now, what does this tell me first of all? What's my amp? Amp is 2. What is my period?
2 pi over 5.
2 pi divided by the absolute value of b. What is b here? 5. Very good. My interval is going to be my period divided by 4. So that's going to be 2 pi over 5 times 1/4, which reduces down to pi over 10 as my interval. Do we see that, yay or nay? And you're right, Bob.
Yes. I'm keeping up with it so far. I'm already all
Okay. Now, I need to know my level. How do I find my level? 0 plus or minus my amp. So that's going to be 0. That's not true. Why anybody stop me?
I should.
Plus or minus C. So my C value is going to be 3, so my level is at 3. Now, that is for which graph? Not secant. That is actually for the graph of cosine. So, yes, I'm going to be starting at -3, and I'm going to be graphing that. However, at my secant, I'm going to have an asymptote here. Do we understand that? Yes or no? I will have a level. I have to graph this. I have to graph my cosine. Okay, but then every place I see a level, I'm going to draw my dotted line down. Okay, and I'll do that here in a minute. My max is going to be my level plus my amp. So my level is -3 plus my amp, which is 2 to give me 1 as my max. -1. My minimum is going to be my level minus my amp. So that's -3 minus 2, which gives me -5 as my min. Okay? Now I have to change my starting point. So I have 5x plus pi, typically starts at 0, so 5x equals -pi, so x starts at -5, -pi over 5. That's where this thing's going to start at, right? Where's it going to end at? It's supposed to end at typically 2 pi, so 5x is equal to pi, and x is going to end at pi over 5. Okay? So now what I have, this is the cosine graph that I'm graphing. I'm starting at -pi over 5. I'm going to add another pi over 10 to that to give me -pi over 10, then 0, then +pi over 10, and then I'm going to end at pi over 5. All I did was just add the interval every time, which is pi over 10. Cosine looks like what? Max, level, min, level, max. Which means I'm actually going to have my max at -1, my min level's at -3, my min's at -5, -3, -1. However, what I'm actually graphing is the secant. So what do I need to see here? -1. What do I need to see at my level? Asymptote, which would be undefined, because it's an asymptote. What do I need to see min? -5. What do I need to see at level? Undefined, because it's an asymptote, and then -1. This is what I want in your box.
So just replace the levels with undefined.
Replace the levels with undefined. Now to graph this, so what I have is something that looks like, oh no.
So for undefined, like use -3 graph.
What's that?
So you're graphing, you use -3 right top at the top.
Right. So there's my graph. However, I'm going to have an asymptote here and here. And what I actually have is the one-arm bandit, that, and then the one-arm bandit. The red is what I'm looking for. The red is what I'm looking for. Do we understand that?
When you figure out your chart, can you put in your application you can graph all Alright.
You better just make sure you know it.
Yeah. Because you can get confused with like multiple graphs.
So when you graph two periods, do you start out again at